Good morning, and it's a great opportunity to be here with you this morning. May I begin by adding my congratulations to all of the prize winners today. You deserve to be very proud of your accomplishments, and I'm sure you and your parents are justly so. May I begin by giving you a little bit of background on myself that might be relevant today. I was born and raised in this small town of Lawrenceville, New Brunswick. Population 700 people. The closest large center was a 2-hour drive away, or about 40,000 people, so it was rural to say the least. I did not go to UCC. I went to the Lawrenceville High School. Graduated and finished my time there, but if the truth be known, I actually did not even finish high school. I went right straight to university at the ripe age of 16 years old. So I didn't go to the school in total, and I don't know if that impairs my ability to talk to you this morning, but I don't personally think that made any difference in my life, either positive or negative. Having said that, I had 2 boys who attended UCC, and I do have a very close attachment to the school. In fact, I love Upper Canada College, and I particularly admire your principal because I think what he believes, I personally believe. And that's what I'd like to talk to you about today on Prize Day. So for no other reason, to give you a little background, this summer, as I was one weekend with my family in Georgian Bay, I had an opportunity to look at a book that I found the title intriguing. So I picked up the book. It was by the Dalai Lama. It was called The Art of Happiness. And I was attracted to that because I genuinely believe that the pursuit of happiness was essential in our life. So why not give it a read, I thought. So I did. I picked it up and I started reading it in solitude on a rock in Georgian Bay. And he starts in his writing the very simple concept. He says, I believe the very purpose of life is to seek happiness. And that was such an important message, and so simple. The purpose of life is to seek happiness. But one of the more important messages in this little book was acknowledging the difference between happiness and pleasure. He wrote that happiness depends on physical pleasure is unstable. One day it's there, and the next day it may not be. And I'd like to bring that to life, if I could, for you all here today. You're teenagers. I have 5 children, as was suggested. They're all past the teenage days. I'm an empty nester here for the first time in my life. But I do remember my own teenage years, and I remember them well. Trust me, to all of the students here today, everything you did, I did. Maybe more. Right? The parties, the girls, the booze, and yes, I was even a smoker at the time because it gave me some pleasure when I was around the girls. I felt really cool as a smoker, right? The hockey games, the parties, all of that was an important part of my teenage life. But one of the most important revelations that I had in that little village of Lawrenceville, New Brunswick, it came to me shortly after high school. I feel blessed that this came to me early in life, is recognizing that stuff was fun, and some of it in a healthy way still is, some of it, but it didn't make me really happy, right? It was pleasure, it was not happiness. It was pleasure, not happiness. Well, if that's true, what is happiness? And according to the Dalai Lama, he suggests that lasting happiness, true happiness, relates to the heart and the mind. And I personally believe that's true. I also believe that people will find that in unique ways that are unique to themselves. And I personally have things that I attach to that make me happy. And for me, it boils down to 3 things. 3 things. Number 1 is living your life based on firmly held values, things that you believe in very deeply. Number 2, it's the relationships in your life. And number 3, making a difference. Almost all of these things, when I look back at my life, have been the genesis of all of the good time and happiness that I've enjoyed. When I've behaved in ways when I've either succeeded or when I've failed, and I can guarantee you I've had colossal failures in my life, I always seem to feel good about myself when I've acted according to what I believe in. As I left home after high school, the one thing I discovered that was most important to me were those relationships. My family, my parents, my brothers and sisters, now my kids, my wife, and my friends that are very deeply held. And the dedication to make a difference in the world, either very small or very large, not for ego reasons, but because making a difference in somebody else's life makes a difference in your life. Those things were the source for me of happiness over pleasure. So you rightly ask, what does this have to do with Prize Day in Upper Canada College? Well, first, I believe, and I don't mean to offend your principal or the institution, but I do believe that after you leave Upper Canada College, what you learn here, in fact, the very point that you attended Upper Canada College, of a material nature, will mean nothing in your life. You'll have some very fond memories and some great relationships that you'll take with you, but in substance, you won't remember a lot. I have 24,000 people in my organization, and I actually could care less where they went to school. I care only about who they are as a person. But there are things actually from Upper Canada College which I would, in my association with this school, call enduring. But more importantly, you can make them enduring if you so choose, and they can make a meaningful difference in whether or not you will be happy or just pleasured. I point only to your mission statement. I read this every time, and I've read it often. I read this with intrigue and connection. To ignite boys' curiosity, imagination, and passion, to support diligence, innovation, and excellence in all that they pursue, to encourage compassion and integrity throughout their lives, and to challenge them to make a difference. Your principal calls this character. He wants you to become, and I take this right from his words, men of conscience, courage, and compassion, men who will make a difference. So your academic record and even the prizes that you gather today, while very important milestones in your life and testaments to your personal accomplishments, they also will not be enduring, and they will never guide you to happiness. The path for enduring success, I believe, and happiness can in fact be found in exactly what your principal and what this school stands for. They are the things that will contribute to living your life based on what you believe in, having character, as Principal Powers calls it, building, nurturing, and protecting as many relationships that exist in this school and outside this school as you possibly can, and ultimately choosing to make a difference in someone else's life, which will also make a difference in your own. So if I had to offer you on Prize Day any pithy little advice from some guy up here in a suit, whether it's me, whether it's Principal Powers or your parents or anybody else coming up to talk to you about character and about UCC's mission statement, the one thing I'd suggest to you and recommend is that you consider it very deeply for you and your source of happiness, not for the people who are telling you. Don't do it for your parents. Don't do it for Principal Powers. Don't do it for your teacher. You might not get this right now, but the sooner you do, the happier you'll be. So congratulations to all of you on Prize Day.